Hey, what's up, good people, and welcome to yet another video. And in this video we're gonna be looking at the Vivo V40 5G, which is what I'm holding here. So Vivo sent me this device a couple of weeks ago, and I've actually been using it for about 2 to 3 weeks now, and it's actually a very interesting piece of tech. And as Vivo prepares to launch this phone in the Kenyan market, I understand the pricing should be around 64,000 Kenyan shillings. And with this phone, Vivo is actually trying to push boundaries, right? Delivering some quite interesting performance, a very stunning design, which I really liked, and impressive camera capabilities. And the biggest highlight actually this time around that Vivo is bringing to this phone is the Zeiss optics. And I need to mention that since 2020, Vivo and Zeiss have actually been collaborating, similar to, of course, what we've seen with a lot of other smartphone brands, partnering with, of course, renowned, camera manufacturers or camera companies. We've seen that with Xiaomi, we've seen that with Oppo, and these collaborations typically appear on flagship products. So it's surprising to see actually Zeiss optics featuring in mid-range devices or the mid-range V40 series, like what we have on the Vivo V40 5G. And the Vivo Zeiss imaging system, of course, first debuted with the Vivo X60 series. Of course, we didn't get a chance to interact with that, but earlier this year also Vivo V30 Pro brought the Zeiss to Vivo mid-range lineup, and now Vivo X expanding that same imaging system to the Vivo V40 5G. But that aside, the upgrade we are seeing on the Vivo V40 5G is not just about the cameras, or it's not just limited to the cameras. Remember the moderate IP54 dust resistance we saw on the Vivo V30? Well, Vivo has directly moved forward a little bit, and we are now getting an IP68 rating. You're also getting a larger battery, a better display, of course, and of course compared to the the previous model, the Vivo V30 5G. But all said and done, that this phone actually lived for the hype. Let's take a quick look at the Vivo V40 5G. So here's the thing. One thing I love about Vivo is how the company is just able to completely overhaul its design with each and every new series it unveils for the market. And the Vivo V40 5G, it's just that, totally different in terms of design compared to what we had with the Vivo V30. And it looks pretty good with the circular camera module on the top left at the back and an assisting aura light ring right below it. The phone also comes with very nice looking curved sides. There's a glass back, which looks quite nice actually, and very minimalistic if you ask me. And the white color variant we have here for review doesn't actually just look good, but also feels very good when held in the hand. And also, I need to mention, this is actually probably, the slimmest phone with a 5,500 milliamp battery that we actually used. And it measures just 7.6 millimeters in thickness and weighs just 190 grams. So very light. And of course, given the slim curved design and lightweight nature of the phone, it's quite convenient to hold and use even with one hand. And of course, with IP68 dust and water resistance, this phone, according to Vivo, has been claimed to easily survive a depth of up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes in static water. Something else, we're also getting a 6.78-inch AMOLED display with a screen resolution of 1260 by 2800 pixels. Also at 120 Hz refresh rate, so you have quite a very interesting refresh rate to play around with. Very responsive. And of course, a peak brightness of 4500 nits. And of course, with an impressive pixel density of 453 ppi. And yeah, so this display actually looks very sharp and offers very great viewing angles too. And of course, as a huge fan of very curved display, I love what Vivo has done with this phone. It looks pretty good actually, and the flowing effect on the sides of the display does deliver a more immersive experience. And of course, the responsive panel that offers a high contrast ratio and vibrant colors, this phone actually is very good to use to stream your favorite movies, to play favorite games. The display offers quite a very immersive experience. As I said at the beginning of this video, Vivo has made some meaningful upgrades on the Vivo V40 compared to the previous device, the V30. And of course, powering this device is the Snapdragon 7 Gen 3 chipset. And it's also a surprise to see Vivo adopt this chipset because we still having so many brands in the same price category using this same chipset. And this phone comes with 12 GB of RAM, and the variant we have here comes with 512 actually 256 gigs of internal storage. And of course the phone also offers some 12 gigs of extended RAM to help you basically tackle some of the more demanding tasks should you basically be a heavy user. And you can actually run more than 40 apps in the background, without worrying or constantly worrying about having to deal with reloading issues and all that. For the cameras, which is actually one of the biggest upgrades that we have on this phone, we are getting a 50 megapixels primary sensor with optical image stabilization support and an ultra-wide 50 megapixels camera with 119-degree field of view. And as I mentioned earlier, the V40 actually comes with Zeiss branded cameras this time round. And to provide a more natural flash, the brand or Vivo has also included a studio quality aura light on the phone. I mentioned that earlier, remember? And to recall, the V30 series also came with this same aura lighting, but it was rounded. It was actually in a rounded square shape, but this time around you get a circular light. But of course the idea remains the same, to just give you with more natural light or more natural flashlight to basically help improve low light images without basically overexposing them, of course, unlike regular flash. And Zeiss also focal portrait allows you to capture some pretty decent actually portraits, shots, and different zoom levels in various styles. So you can really do either landscape portrait, street portrait. All these styles you can actually make use of thanks to the Zeiss multifocal portrait. I was also consistently impressed with the portrait shot clicked by this phone, and perhaps this actually need to mention is probably one of the strongest things I liked about this phone, the phone camera. And of course the different Zeiss style bokeh effects are also available. You can actually make use of them. There's cinematic, there's cineflare, a lot of them actually you can actually make use of just depending on the settings you have depending on the subject you're using, or basically depending on the location. Of course all these features, all these Zeiss multifocal, all these Zeiss bokeh effects, they're all fun to use and in different settings actually, as I mentioned. And truthfully speaking, the V40 really captures some really good shots irrespective of lighting conditions. The Vivo V40 5G, it's quite a very interesting phone, and having used it for the last couple of weeks, it's a phone I would really recommend for anyone looking to buy and has some 60 or 64,000 shillings to spare. And here's the thing, I love the portrait shots, I love the camera, and Zeiss partnership with Vivo actually has added a plus to this phone because you are getting a lot of interesting Zeiss camera modes that you can play around with on this phone. Then there's of course the peak brightness of 4500 nits. That's quite something actually that I really like. The performance wise, no struggle. The chipset dies, despite it being similar to the one we have with the V30, it does quite a pretty decent job. And of course the 5500 milliamp battery is able to last you a full day without you having to worry about running out of juice. And of course design wise, Vivo got everything right. The white color we have here is also quite decent. The camera, the design, everything out of this phone looks pretty decent. And yeah, basically that is for this short video. We're going to be having a written video article review actually on the blog on the same. I'll just give you a more detailed review and a more detailed explanation of the different things that I feel we might have missed on this review. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. So tell us, would you actually buy the Vivo V40 5G? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.